Hi everybody, you're watching World Without Rule of Law. Welcome to another segment of an unscripted moment. Today I just want to talk briefly about YouTube and my YouTube channel and just some things going on, growth I guess, or lack of growth, whatever. So I started the channel in mid-November of 2016, a few months back, and I guess I'm doing alright as far as growth. I mean, I got almost 900 subscribers in a few months. But, recently, YouTube's been demonetizing like almost all my videos. I'm not quite every single one, but quite a few, right? So, I put a video up, like this EMP series I'm doing. I'll put the video up, and it'll play for a day sometimes. And then I'll get a message saying it's not advertiser friendly, and so they're not able to monetize it. And so I'll check the review box, and then anywhere within 2 to 4 days they get back to me, and they don't really tell me anything. There's no way to communicate with them, right? So they just make it available for monetization again. So this has happened like 12 times in maybe the last 14 videos I put up. So it's crazy, right? I don't know why. Like, I reviewed the policies. I believe I'm within all the guidelines. Obviously I am, because they're okay in the videos. But so if you look at, say, like the last week or the weeks before segment of the EMP series, maybe I'll have, I think I got just under 600 views, which I know, I'm a small channel, that's not a lot, and from a money standpoint, I mean, it doesn't add up to a lot. But out of those 600 views, probably 300 of them were viewed under the the condition that it was not able to be monetized. So the way I look at it, like, whatever revenue I could make from it is cut potentially in half, right? So not sure how it all works, why it all works. It seems like it just could happen in the middle of the night. So I don't know if they got people working that demonetize them, but so I checked the box and I asked for a review. So and they always 100% of the time came back and allowed it. So apparently there was nothing wrong with it, right? But, like, why do they do it like that? Why don't they just look at it first before they demonetize it? I don't know why. But looking at YouTube as, so my channel is a creative writing channel. So I write these series, like that EMP series. I write the week segment, then I produce it onto a video. I use Movie Maker or whatever, and then I publish it. So it's pretty time consuming. Writing it takes some time. I write a couple drafts, usually write it, then like change some things around, whatever, put it the way I want it, try to get it to that. I try to get it right like within the 12 to 14 minute block of time for each one. And so it can take some time to do that. I guess I'll say, like, it's not completely about money, because I do love to write, and I've been doing it before I even knew what YouTube was. So there's that. But I want to retire in a year or so, and my wife and I bought a home down in Virginia, Southern Virginia, and we've been remodeling it and going down there on my vacations, and we're going down again in April. And so we're shifting toward, we want to do some homesteading. Maybe I definitely want to do a bigger garden. I've been doing little gardens up here, and I want to do a really big garden down there, and so that's number one priority. I want to grow blackberries and all kinds of berries. We have some fruit trees down there, and I know I did a video about it, right? So some of you may have seen it. But how do we produce income on a homestead like that? So, well, okay, like I watched one guy, he did a U-pick blackberry operation. I think he said he made like 15 grand in a season. He was down in real warm climate, like a couple zones warmer than where we're at. So maybe he has a longer growing season, whatever. That's a good place for me to start, because I love blackberries, and so if I do it and nobody buys any, or I bring them to a farmer's market and nobody buys any, or do a U-pick and nobody comes, then I'll just put them in the freezer and use them throughout the year for myself. So myself and my wife. So it wouldn't really be a loss. So I think that's a good place to start. I'd like to eventually maybe do chickens and rabbits. I don't know if I have the ability to do that, or how that all works. Like I want to start, like, so say we wanted to start rabbits, I'd probably get 2 rabbits and raise them, and then see like how that all goes, the butchering process, and if I have the aptitude for that, or whatever, and then grow it from there. Also, up here I work for the city in the public school system. I'm a custodial maintenance employee, but I've had my electrical contractor's license in the state for 27 years, and so I haven't done a lot of that in the last couple of years, but there was a time there, I've pretty consistently worked nights, so there was a time there when I was doing that, 20 hours a week or so part-time, and I could make more than 20 hours a week doing that than I could in my full-time job for 40 hours. Of course, we get the benefits and all that with the job, so the two have worked well together. And in a homestead situation, I could maybe fall back on that electrical skill and make a little bit of supplemental money there. I got to look into it. It's a different state, right? The licensing, and I've gotten everything I found out so far isn't too encouraging. I would have to basically start all over and retest, take the exam and all that all over again, and so I got to weigh all that out. But there's another possible avenue of making some money. Like I said, if I have a huge garden, maybe we could do farmers markets, whatever, right? So YouTube's another one, right? You look at YouTube and you're like, okay, well, I don't have any unrealistic dreams about becoming like, the next mega star with 1 million subscribers or whatever, but if I could grow the channel, I'd be happy with a couple $100 a month income out of it. That would be like kind of like a first term goal, right? So in the beginning, when I started in November, I only had, after maybe a few weeks or a month, I had 100, 200 subscribers or whatever. I was making more then than I am now. Less video content, less watch time. How's that work? Like, I could make a certain amount of money, and it wasn't much, a few bucks a day, whatever. It's sometimes now it's not even $1 a day. And with triple the subscribers and more watch time, I don't understand. It seems to be, if I look at the analytics, and I don't know a lot about that or how that works, but it seems to me that it dropped off around the first of the year. So I don't know the formula of why that all happened, but it's pretty disheartening. And then when I look at what's happening with them demonetizing all the videos, there's half my potential income down the drain right there. So why isn't there some wizard out there, some superstar that can like invent the alternative to YouTube? Right? Like if you want to buy a car or a microwave or a TV or a cell phone or spaghetti sauce or you name it, anything you want in the world, as a consumer, you have choices. TVs, how many different kinds of TVs do they make? How many different kinds of spaghetti sauces do they make? How many different manufacturers of cell phones? Whatever, you name it. Cars, I don't care what it is, there's choice. You want to be a video content creator? There's no choice, there's YouTube. I mean, you can put your videos on Facebook, social media, but but if you're looking at it from maybe making a part-time income out of it. So some of these guys go over to Patreon, and it looks like that's pretty viable for somebody who's got subscribers. Like, if you got, I actually follow somebody on Patreon, and so I could see kind of the benefit to it. But you gotta be a fairly established channel. It's not going to work for somebody like me, less than 1,000 subscribers, or these guys out there struggling, 100, 200, 300 subscribers. You're not going to go to Patreon. I'm not going to go to Patreon. Maybe even up to 2,000 subscribers, 3,000, 5,000. I don't know. If you got 50,000 subscribers and 1% of them go with you to Facebook, that's 500 subscribers. So if they all pledge $1 a month, there's $500. Bingo. If you got 1,000 subscribers and 1% of them goes with you, there's one subscriber. Right? So, like, is that right? My third grade math skills aren't kicking in. Yeah, well, 10% would be 100, 1% would be 10. So if you got 1,000 subscribers and 10 people go with you, there's 10 bucks. Like, what's, when does it become viable to go to Patreon? Like, somebody with 1,000 or less subscribers, definitely I don't see the viability of it. So that's maybe an option later on if the channel has some growth. How come, they designed a space shuttle that could take off from a runway and, like, on a plane and, like, get released and shoot through the atmosphere and go into outer space and orbit the Earth and come back and land itself, and yet they can't? There's nobody out there that could develop the alternative to YouTube. I don't know. Like, I got some problems with YouTube, I guess. Just because, and it always seemed like there were issues, but this latest thing with them demonetizing all the videos, that's really, like, kind of, got me a little bit frustrated. I don't know. Am I going to be able to develop the alternative to YouTube? No. I can't even cut and edit video. I mean, I got Movie Maker, it's free, I could put the videos in. I'm technically lacking, let's just say that. I like to watch Brad, a Big Family Homestead. I watch his Tech Talk on Thursday, and I think there's some information you can pick up, right? There's some things that he did that are really interesting, but, it's like, you listen to him explain it, it's like listening to the teacher on Charlie Brown. Wah, 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 wah. And it's not him, because, I mean, he seems to be pretty articulate. I'm sure that it's me. It's in the reception end, not the transmission end. So I'm the kind of guy, like, I could learn it. I have technical skills. I can learn, but I got to sit down next to the person doing it. And then I got to try to do it myself, and then they stop and say, no, don't do it like that, do it like this. And I do it, and I watch them, and I do it again, and then that's how you learn. That's how I learn. And some people can learn easier or in different platforms. Gardening, I could pick up a lot of information on YouTube and learn. That doesn't have to so much be hands-on learning. You learn the information, then you teach yourself by doing it. It's a little bit different. But anyway, that's a whole separate issue. But so my channel, what's going to happen if I want to try to make it into a part-time income? I'm a creative writing. It's a creative writing channel. I got some short stories. I got the EMP series. I got the backstories for the series, some poems, some whatever, op-ed pieces. But there's no real genre for that, right? Like, I can't be the only one doing that kind of thing, but I don't really see anybody else. Like, so where do I fit in? Because like, if you're a homesteader and and I want to, I'm gonna do that homestead vlog as I fix up the house and the property. I'm going down there in April. We're getting a tractor. We're gonna gut the other half of the house. I'm gonna make videos of that. I'm gonna try to switch when we get down there full time. I'm gonna show the garden production, animals if I get any, of the successes, the failures, the whole 9 yards, right? So maybe I can shift into like a homesteading genre. Do I fit in with that homesteading genre now? Not really. I do not so much anymore, but I used to do video gaming. But do I fit in with the video gaming genre? No. Even when I did it maybe 5 hours a week, like, so I never, whatever. But I have a couple, videos that I showed you, a few guns that I have, and like, but am I a gun? Do I fit in with the gun channels? No. So my thing is like creative writing. There is no genre for that. And so I don't know if I do fit in really anywhere on YouTube. Then again, I mean, I picked up 800 and whatever, 90 something subs in 3 months, 4 months. So I guess that's not terrible growth. Seems to be leveling off quite a bit. And then if, like I said, if I want to turn it into a part-time income, how does that all work? DMP series, I started my channel around that. That was going to be the only thing on it. That's why I named the channel World Without Rule of Law. I'm thinking now, like, as I go in different directions, did I limit myself there? Do I want to change the name of the channel? I think sometimes I do. How do I do that? Can I do that? Do I have to start all over with, no subs again and start a whole new channel? I don't know. And if I get serious really about doing it, I suppose I could look into all that. But I don't know, the direction, or if it's going to take off at all. I put in, so if I'm going to, in a year to two, going to retire and live on a homestead and try to support myself with a little tiny measly pension, I'm going to need more income. So at that point, if I'm not making anything or very little, and I'm putting in 10 to 12 hours a week, and it comes out to like $2 a month or whatever, not even probably at this point, I mean $2 an hour, I'm sorry, then actually at this point, if I added up the hours and what I make a month, what my earnings are in a month, it doesn't even come to $2 an hour. So at that point, do I say, okay, I love to do this, so it's okay to make nothing hardly? Or do I do something I don't enjoy, like electrical work, because there's potential for earning? I'm going to have to come to a point where I'm going to have to look at the time that I'm spending doing these things, compared to how much money I'm making during that time. And of course you got to weigh that out, because it's not all about the money. As I said, do I wake up and do something like electrical work, which doesn't bring me any satisfaction and I don't enjoy, to make more money? Or do I continue to write and do the YouTube things, which I love, but don't make any money? Or do I try to strike a balance in the middle? I don't know, but I think a lot of it's going to be driven by economics, unfortunately. It stinks that we have to live our lives like that, but the reality of it is we do a lot of times. And so I'm gonna have to look at all that. So what's going on with YouTube? I mean, what's going on with the demonetization of all my videos? How come it's every single video? Again, I don't want to be redundant, but they do it every single time. And when they review it, they come back and poof, it's okay now. And I didn't change it, so apparently they were wrong when they demonetized it. Of course, you can't have a dialogue with them. You can't talk to them or communicate with them in any way, because they're like, they're like up on the mountain, and you just bow before them, and they put their scepter on you and decide either they smite you down or they let you do what you want to, what you're going to do. And so it's not like you could have a discourse with them and find out why they're doing this, or why they're not just taking the time in the beginning to see that it's okay, because obviously it is okay, because they come back later and they monetize them. So that's in my mind, that's them saying, yeah, we were wrong, we shouldn't have demonetized it, and here you go, now you can monetize it. We're sorry that half the views the video is ever going to get were lost, didn't count during that time. Oh well, and so it only amounts to 60 cents anyway or whatever, so who cares? But yeah, but it sticks as a sore spot, like, in me for some reason. But where do we go? Where do we go from here? I don't know. I welcome feedback. I welcome the comments, like ideas. People are always there's always gonna be haters too, right? You're a jerk, whatever, I'm a jerk. So, whatever. If you wanna leave a comment with something constructive, I welcome that. That's great. You wanna leave a comment saying I'm a big fat rubber nose? Well, okay, I guess. I mean, you have the right to do that. You're an American citizen. Well, what's the usefulness of it? I don't know. But then again, you can't stop those people, so go ahead. And thanks for watching anyway, but whatever. But where are we going? Where are we gonna go? Where's the future bring? Is there gonna be growth? Is it gonna be shut down? I'm gonna have to go off and do something else where I can make more money. And sadly, that's how I've lived my whole life. I got up in the morning and went to work at a job what I didn't care for, because I made enough money to support myself and have a vehicle and pay the electric bill and do all the stuff that I have to do. And the things that I love to do, I could do, but I couldn't make any money at them. And maybe writing and doing a YouTube channel about writing is the same thing. I don't know. We'll see. But there's not going to be an episode of the EMP series this week just because we had a blizzard. I lost a couple days and all this other stuff. Like, in the end, I try to glorify God with what I do. Whether it does or not, that could be a point for argument too. But I try, it's my intention. Ultimately, if God doesn't like what I'm doing and he wants to shut me down or shut this channel down, there's nothing I or anybody else could do to stop that. If he likes what I'm doing and he wants to bless it, well, there's not anything anybody's going to be able to do about that either. So it'll be what it'll be. It's in his hands, and I do the best I can and try to do things from a standpoint that how does it glorify God? How does it honor God? I try not to use bad language. And some people may think that doesn't mean anything or doesn't count anyway. I think people don't want to hear or have anything to do with God anyway. Like that Brad at Big Family Homestead or Danny at Deep South Homestead, and they have good channels. Their channels are great, and they've got success, and they've got subscribers. Each one of them does a secondary channel, a devotional. Brad does his every day, 10:30 to 11, Big Family Devotions. I try to watch it most days. I enjoy it. He's genuine guy, talks from the heart, humble, he loves God, and he's only got, a couple hundred subscribers. I'm not sure of the number, but it's a fraction of the subscribers he has on his other channel. Danny too, from Deep South Homestead, he does, he has All God's Children, and he does some devotionals on there, kind of a little more like, almost a little more in the line of preaching. And I like that channel too. I love it, and I subscribe to both of them. And he's got a fraction of the viewers he has on his other channel. And I guess that's just the way of the world, right? People don't want to be connected to the things of God. It's a shame, but that's an unscripted moment for a whole other day. But yeah, so no EMP series this week. There will be one next week. I didn't get it finished in time. I had a tough week all the way around. But I thank you all for watching. I appreciate all my viewers and all my subscribers. I really appreciate you. And all the guys out there that are making content and plugging away every day and doing this. And I know you're not getting rich either, right? And I've learned a lot, and I appreciate all you too, because there's a lot of information. I think, again, to use Danny from Deep South Homestead, guy's a wealth of knowledge, and I'll watch his videos about, how he plants sweet potatoes, or doing this, or doing that, or, there's a lot of information there. And so you can watch it, and I watch it, and I glean some information out of it. And, like I said, I'm going to be starting a homestead, and I want to do a huge garden, and so I love what these guys do. There's other channels, I watch I Am Organic. I love that channel. I get a lot of information from them. These guys are putting out this content every day, so I appreciate it. I appreciate all that all you content makers, do. And because there's a wealth of information on YouTube, it's almost like a big organic growing encyclopedia, right? Because there's new information being added every day, and it's a wealth of knowledge, really. And so I appreciate the people that bring that to us. And again, I appreciate my subscribers. Thank you all, and we'll see you next week with another episode of the EMP series. God bless you.